Yo, what's going on, guys? I have hit Ultimate Champion. I think I achieved a 53% or 52% win rate. So I'm going to show you the last 4 matches that got me to Ultimate Champion. So the first matchup was against this Evo Recruits Lumberloon deck, and he had Vines. I mean, I feel like the Ultimate, pushing Ultimate Champion is the mix between bad players who play meta decks and people who just play weird decks. So I get a Furnace down in the back because that's always the best move to do. I think Furnace in the back is always the best. And he goes Little Prince. And I poison his Little Prince, and he does indeed go with Recruits, which I think was a good play from him because I would use my poison. I can't really do anything. Or not do anything, but if I use my poison, then the Recruits, I don't get poison value on the Recruits. So I get a nice Ice Wizard and Berserker. I'm trying not to use my Goblin Hut because I know he might have piggies or he might have some sort of win condition, which I don't want to waste it on. In this case, he had Balloon because he's playing a Recruit's Lumberloon deck, so you know what it is, how it is. So early game, 1 minute into the game, we haven't really done anything yet. And Recruits matchups are going to be really long, guys. I don't know if I can't really win Recruits fast, right? Because I feel like if I go in too fast, he will just get a free Recruits onto my graveyard, and we're going to lose. So I have to play this really passively and wait for the right opportunity to strike. So I get a nice Ice Wizard down. I drag all the Recruits over. Get a nice Hut down, and I think I get an Evo Furnace down. Yep. Just to try and get on that Balloon. Yeah, I think Balloon only gets 1 hit. Yep. It gets 1 hit because he vines. No, actually, it's okay. It gets 1 hit. Okay, I'm fine with that. My Evo Furnace does indeed die, and I go for a bad Berserker. I should have went Berserker on top of the Archers, but it's fine. I thought the Recruit was gonna kill the Evo Furnace, but the Evo Furnace was gonna die to the bomb anyway, so it didn't matter. So that was a bad play on me, but that's okay. I feel like once single is over, you can't break through with against this deck. I feel like once it's double, it's pretty hard to break through unless you play a Goblin Giant. And he's getting death damage on his balloons, so I'm kind of a little mad at that, but it is what it is. I go for a Barbaro to hopefully distract the Lumberjack, but it looks like I didn't need to. It looks like I just Knight was enough to distract the Lumberjack, but who knows? I think the Barbaro is still good because you never know. You don't want Evil Lumberjack does 300 damage per hit, so if you got 2 more hits, that will be 600 damage, which is game changing. Do I get a poison on the Little Prince? I do think I just go Barbaro. Yep, okay. If I get a poison, I think that's overcommitting because there's no point because Barbaro does the job just fine. And these Recruits aren't Evo, so they're not that scary. Berserker does come and help, so that's really nice. And I do go for a Graveyard because I just think it's a good time to go Graveyard. I think he just went in too much with that little Guardian. The Guardian ability, I think, was a little too much. So my Furnace does get tons of value. He does waste the Vines on defense, and overall situation is looking pretty good. I have a Evo Furnace down. His Fisherman's dead. And his Archers are basically dead. He does indeed go Lumberloon at the bridge. What a player. So I do go for a nice Hut in the middle. Hopefully to slow down the Balloon. Or just to pull the Balloon, not slow down. He does get death damage again, which is really annoying. He keeps on getting death damage because of the vines. So next time I play against this deck, I'm gonna try to put my Ice Wizard on the outside of the tower and put my Hut in the middle because I want to separate them. I go for a prediction poison. I was trying to predict his Low Prince or his Archers, but I don't hit anything. So there it is. Go for a nice high Hut. And I use Ice Wizard to 1 stun the Balloon and 2 kill the Fisherman. So bad snowball because I feel like it wouldn't have, that snowball doesn't do anything. And I go for a Knight up high and a Furnace up high too. I go for a nice poison on the Recruits to 1 kill them and 2 get some tower damage because at this point we are kind of tied because of the Balloon, and I know he can probably get Balloon death damage pretty easily. I do have an Ice Wizard down. He's gonna Vines. which is okay. But since I have so much... Oh, wow. The Furnace just took it. I didn't even realize that. But I feel like we have Ice Wizard. We have Furnace. Like, he has too much to Vines. Like, he can't Vines. So, nice first match. Second match, we're going against this Valkyrie Executioner Hog deck. But instead of Lightning or Rocket, he's running Vines, which means that the cycle is a lot quicker. So, against this deck, you just have to make sure you don't Graveyard when they have Evil Valk, right? If you Graveyard when they have Evil Valk, it's Raps. Or it's not Raps, but it's definitely bad. So when I go Hut in this position, I always try to make sure I have Ice Wizard like ready, but this case he logged a little too late, so I didn't need to Ice Wizard, and I do go for a Barbell to force out any Elixir. He does indeed go Valk in the back, and I go Knight opposite. He goes Valk opposite lane. I go Furnace into the Valk just to DPS it down, and he does indeed go for Execution in the back. At this point, I'm not too... I know what he's running. He's running an XC Hog deck, but... I'm not too sure, like... Does he have Lightning or does he have Rocket? Because if he has Rocket, I feel like this matchup is really easy. But if he has Lightning, you know, this matchup's not that easy. So I go for a Goblin Hut, and then I go for... a Barber on the Executioner. And thankfully, I don't take any damage from the Executioner. The Hog obviously didn't get hit, but I thought my Knight was gonna lick the Executioner lineup, and nice, it didn't. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think Knight does get 2 hits, so that's quite a bit of damage. And right now we're in a good position, I would say. But he does have Evo Valk next, so I need to be wary. Like, I can't go for a stupid Graveyard. Here I'm just cycling. I don't really know what too much to do. I feel like he's gonna Hog, but I don't know yet. I go for a nice Ice Wizard, and I do go for a prediction Barber. I know it doesn't look like a prediction, but I went for Barb. Okay, I wasn't trying to. Okay, it was a half prediction. Okay, guys, I'm not that insane, but I knew he was trying to NATO something. So I think it was more like me, like, I was trying to like keep I was trying to lock the Executioner in place, right? The Executioner obviously like walks up. I didn't want him to walk up and then attack my troops and the tower at the same time. So I barbarreled. I didn't know he was gonna NATO, okay? I didn't know he was gonna NATO, but I knew he was trying to line up the Executioner, and my troops were lined up to the tower. So I was just trying to make the Executioner not cross the bridge, or make the Executioner not stand at the spot on the bridge where it does indeed attack the tower. So I get a nice Ice Wizard down. Sadly, his Hog does get 1 hit, but nothing I can do about that. And I do get a Knight to block the XE. Now he does go Evo XE into my Evo Furnace, so it's really good. And he doesn't have Valk and Cycle, so I do go for a Graveyard. I go for a nice Berserker Hut, but sadly my Berserker placement, or my Berserker, was a little it's not that good. I have to sack an Evo Knight just to not take my tower. He does go with a interesting, I would say, Vine, so I just go Ice Wizard. At this point, the matchup's looking pretty bad, but in triple elixir, Graveyard shines. So I'm just trying not to die. And by now, I know he only has Vines. So I'm not too worried because he doesn't have a big spell. He can't take out my cuts. He only can stall, but he can't really take out my huts. So I'm pretty happy with that. He also can't deal with my Evo Furnaces that well. He only has Executioner, so I'm just trying to stack up as much Furnace as I can, because obviously he can't really deal with them well. Now I get a nice poise on top of the Executioner, so I can bar barrel on top of the Executioner. Well, that's the plan, right? At least. And he does get another Hog hit, which is kind of annoying, but... Oh, wow. Okay. So I try to block the Executioner from connecting, but sadly, he tornadoes the Berserker in, so I should have been more mindful and put like Berserker right on top of the Executioner. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like that was just a really good sequence by him, and nothing I could have really done. But we're pretty even on damage, and now look at him. I have both my Evos now. He had both his Evos. I have both my Evos now. So obviously just the back and forth, right? And I just get a ton of damage. Now we're even, or not, we're not even, but he does waste his Evo Valk, which is huge. The reason why I went so many troops in it, because I know he doesn't Evo Valk, so I know I can Graveyard. I was like, when can I graveyard next, man? He has Evo back, but he just decides to waste it for some reason. I do go for a nice poison because I want to get some tower damage, and I win by a solid 700 damage lead because I think he wasted Evo Valk. I think if he held on to his Evo Valk, I think the matchup would have been a lot harder. I don't think my graveyard would have gotten nearly as much damage. I probably would have had a poison cycle in the last couple of seconds, and I still probably would have won. But it's because he didn't have lightning. If he had lightning, it would be a whole different story. Next, we have recruits, and this is a true recruits deck this time. This is not some amalgamation with recruits. This is just a true recruits deck. So go 9 in the back first play. And I was an idiot because last game I played against a recruits deck without piggies, but obviously every game's not the same, so that was dumb of me. But at least my deck cycles pretty fast, and I have Berserker for piggies, but he does indeed have piggies in this matchup, and I go for a nice Ice Wizard Barbaro. But you guys will see, you and piggies at a really bad time because I was up in Elixir, and you know in Graveyard, if you're up in Elixir, man, it's not, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's definitely not good looks. So I do go for a nice Graveyard. I think I wait for the Barb to die first, and then I go Graveyard. Yeah, so the he wastes his E-Spirit, and I have a Graveyard Knight at his tower. So there goes his tower, and it pretty much, I won this game. You know, everything's just stalling until everything's just about stalling now. He does go arrows at 0, so we do have similar Elixir, and he chooses to Golem Hut. Look how much control I'm at the game. I'm always defending, and when I'm attacking, I'm forcing him to overspend so I can defend for cheap. And when I defend for cheap, I am keeping my Elixir bar similar to him or having more Elixir than him. So I'm just controlling the pace of the game. I'm pushing. I'm not necessarily pushing the pace, but I'm just controlling the pace, right? I go for Ice Wizard in the back, just to not leak. And, man, I don't know what he's doing, but I do go for a bad hut because it doesn't pull one piggy, but that's fine. So piggies get a couple of damage, and guys, I misclicked, okay? That should have been an Evo Knight, and the Evo Knight should have walked into the other lane tanking for the flying machine. And Evo Knight, obviously, when it's moving, it doesn't take any damage, or as much, it has reduced damage. So I would have tried to graveyard the other lane, but as you can see, nothing didn't go the way I planned it to, but that's okay. I have an Evo Furnace down. I get an Evo Knight in front, so you know it's bad. And I get a nice graveyard. And that's a good game, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's anything to do. I have 2 Furnaces down on the field. I have a bunch of skeletons on his tower. I go for a high hut just to pull everything into my Evo Furnace. So I think those are bad piggies because my Furnace just melts everything. And then I just went for a poison. And this is a very good game. I mean, I think that we punished him really well. I feel like he went for piggies at a horrible time, and that's just how it is, man. I mean, that's a good game, and see you guys in the last match of the video. The last match of the video is going to be a Goblin Giant. I feel like this was the true test of Ultimate Champion. Like, I usually lose these matchups because they're really hard to play, but essentially you don't want to get cooked in single Elixir, and in double Elixir, don't make too many huge mistakes and don't go in at the wrong time and you win. But the problem is, like, in triple Elixir, they're able to build one big push, right? One singular huge push that you're going to have to defend, and it just, that push sucks to defend. I'm being honest. So I get this witch comes down, and when I see mini P.E.K.K.A, I'm a little sad because I took out guards instead of my Berserker, and if I had guards, this matchup would be a lot easier. But you know, you don't get what you want, right? So I do go for Knight in the back. He does indeed go for a Goblin Machine. Just a fun fact: when they go Goblin Machine, I always go Knight and Barbaro just to DPS it down fast. So I go Ice Wizard wasn't necessary here, but I'm just trying to DPS down the Goblin Machine very fast, and you know. So right here, I have almost no Elixir, but at least I defend his push. I'm down so much elixir, but he's gonna have to. I force out some elixir for my counter push. I do force out the Evo Witch. I think Evo Witch is really good because I would want him to like rage or something so he doesn't get any value, but he gets the Evo Witch down, which I will have to start defending, which sucks. And as you can see how like I'm being not kind of overwhelmed, but like you can see how I'm losing like an elixir, right? And I do have to poison his minions because I'm not trying to deal with any minions. And as you can see, I'm down a whole 3 elixir by the time he drops Goblin Machine. And this is the true testament, like, how well you can defend, right? So, I do force out Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is super duper nice. I know he's trying to Goblin Giant with this machine. And I pull the machine away from my tower, or away from my Goblin Hut. I want the Goblin Hut to survive as long as possible. And I go for a nice Evo Furnace into the Witch. So at this point, he keeps on going minions to bait out my poison, which is kind of smart because I think it's really good that he baited out my poison. I get double huts down, which might have been not the best move, but at least I get a bunch of Spirit Goblins down, and it's a huge counter push. I don't know if I graveyard with this. I don't think I should. But okay, I don't graveyard with this. So right now I don't have any damage taken, and this is where it gets very scary. I go for a nice hut, and he does. My Ice Wizard thankfully walks back, but Ice Wizard walks away, man. The reason why this was so scary, if you guys want to know the real reason, is because my Ice Wizard walked away. It did end up getting a ton of damage for me on the right side, so I am thankful for that. But yeah, it's not cool when the Ice Wizard just walks away. I feel like if the Ice Wizard was still there, it could have been a much different game. He does get a nice Goblin Giant, and I do get a nice Ice Wizard. And right now we are similar on Elixir, but I used to have a counter push with some Spirit Goblins on that side, and the Knight chooses to rock left side, but I'm not too worried about that. I think I'll go for a nice Furnace. I'm gonna save my poison to poison on defense, I think, or if he minions, but I go for Berserker just to pressure. I'm not trying to let him build a huge push. And the Witch does go down, which I think was huge. The Furnace dies, but I go Berserker again. As you can see, I'm just trying to go Berserker and cycling poisons. Just trying to keep him, make sure he doesn't build a fat push on one side. But here's the triple elixir push, and this push is going to be really bad because he lined up his evos well, and he's about to win. I should have waited on the bar barrel. I don't know why I bar barreled early. I think if I bar barreled on the Witch, I could have won, but I mean, could have won a lot easier. But as you can see, he gets a nice finds down. Right now I'm full panic mode. I go for Furnace. I just need stuff to kill stuff, right? So this is really scary. I get for a nice up top. Amazingly, the Ice Wizard slows down the Goblin Machine so much that it doesn't shoot at my tower. And I actually do win from a graveyard poison, just a fat graveyard poison. A naked graveyard poison, man. That's how I win. Really nice. I kill his minions, and that is GG's. As you can see on the left side, I would have won the game actually. But I was really happy. But I think the reason why I lost was because I bar barreled too early. I should have bar barreled on top of the Witch, and if the Witch died, I feel like it would have been a lot easier. But we did take the W, and taking the W is all that matters. I did get a 52%. I think I started with 16, like 25-ish medals, and now I'm at 1595 because I lose. I lost my first match in UC, but